welcome back to A Vintage Vanity. In today's So Vintage series, we are making tote purses. What? How fun are these? These are great bamboo handles. There's really great, because you guys know I'm a nerd, Star Trek fabric with classic Kirk and Spock on it. And look at this pocket. We have pockets for things and phones and lipsticks and pens. What? I know, it's like the deluxe version. Alright, so this is a great project. I think as far as sewing skills, anybody really from a beginner level on, I think can really conquer this project. And it's a great like one-day project to get done. So I hope you guys really enjoy this one. I'm super excited about it. So I'm gonna hush up so you guys can see how it's made. For the purse, you're going to need to create some pattern pieces for it. First pattern piece you'll need to make is for the purse body. This is going to be 13 inches wide by 10 inches tall. This does include a 1/2 inch seam allowance for the purse. You are going to cut out 2 pieces of your outside fabric as well as 2 pieces of the inside fabric. The next piece will be for the purse sides. It's going to be 4 inches wide by 10 inches tall, and it includes a 1/2 inch seam allowance. Again, you will need 2 pieces of your outside fabric and 2 pieces of your inside fabric. Next, you're going to want a pattern piece for the purse bottom. This is going to be 13 inches wide by 4 inches tall, again including a 1/2 inch seam allowance. For this though, you only need 1 piece from your outside fabric and 1 piece from your inside fabric. Next, you need a piece for your handle tabs. This will be 5.5 inches wide by 4 inches tall, includes a 1/2 inch seam allowance. Again, you'll need 2 pieces from the inside fabric and 2 pieces from the outside. The last pattern piece you'll need is for the pocket. This is done on the folds, and this is 6.5 inches wide by 5.5 inches tall, includes a 1/2 inch seam allowance, and you only need 1 piece from your outside fabric. The next thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to get a good stiff crafting interfacing, because we're going to put that between the layers of our purse body so that the fabric isn't completely collapsible. So you want to create your piece of interfacing to actually fit within your seam allowances. So we don't want to use our pattern piece here because that includes our seam allowances. So where it was 13 inches by 10 inches before, we're now going to make it 12 inches by 9 inches. Instead of making a pattern for it, we're just going to do it right on top of the interfacing itself, and I'm just going to use my handy marker so you guys can see exactly what I'm doing. So beyond the body piece for interfacing, you will also need an interfacing piece for the bottom, which will be 12 inches by 3 inches, and then you will also need 2 pieces for the tabs, so 4.5 inches by 3 inches. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to pull out one of the inside pieces of the purse body, and you're also going to pull out your pocket piece, and then what we're going to do is we're going to be attaching this to this. And the pocket piece, we're going to take this over to the iron. We are going to fold in all of the sides a 1/2 inch, and then we're going to iron that so we get a nice crisp seam. Now the seam that is going to be the top of the pocket, you want to make sure that you tuck it under and press it again. Now what you're going to want to do with the ends though, because you don't want extra fabric poking out on the ends, you're going to take your scissors and you're going to cut at an angle from the top corner and that will prevent you from having that like extra bit of fabric that kind of pokes out on the end, and you want to do that for both ends of the fabric. On that top seam that you folded over, and you're going to stitch it as close to the edge as possible. Okay, so now our top seam is all stitched up. The thing is though, with those edges that we cut, and I cut them because I wanted to reduce a little bit of bulk, you can tuck them in as well, but I'm going to go ahead and take my fray check, and I'm just going to place just a little bit on each end of that, and that will keep the ends from unraveling. So now you're going to take the body of the purse. You want the right side of the fabric to be up. Then you're going to take your pocket and you're going to place it down. Now, you don't want it to be right up at the top because remember there's a 1/2 inch seam allowance there. So you got to keep that in mind. Then think about what you're going to be putting in the purse. I'm going to be putting my phone in. All right, so once I get it the distance down that I like, and my pocket is about 2 5/8 down from the top, go ahead and pin it. So now that it's pinned down, we're going to go ahead and just give it a stitch all the way around the end. Remember, don't stitch the top. And you just want to stitch about 1/4 inch in all the way around. Okay, so our pocket is all stitched on, but right now it is just one big pocket. So we want to make compartments. So go ahead and take your phone, slip it into the pocket, and then on the other side, you're just going to pop in a couple pins of where you would ideally like the stitch to go to kind of hold your phone in place. Say you want a pen holder. Go ahead, take a pen, slip it right into the pocket, and then do the same thing. Place in a couple pins of where you would like that to be. Say you want a lipstick. Now I don't have, or a lip gloss. I don't have a big enough one down here for a lip gloss. So I'm going to take this knitting needle. I'm going to place it in there because that's a little bit bigger than a pen. And then I'm going to place in a couple pins. So there we go. That's where our seams are going to be. This last pocket is big enough for credit cards and extra cash, or maybe a compact or something like that. You're going to take it over to the sewing machine and you're just going to stitch it all the way from bottom of pocket to the top of pocket. So now with our inside piece that has the pocket on, you're going to flip it over and you're going to place the interfacing on it. Because what we want to do before we stitch our pieces together is we want to take our magnetic snap closures and place them in. This is what you'll get with the snap closure. I'm just using a small magnetic snap closure. You're going to have a girl end and the boy end and the washers. I have placed the interfacing. I've pinned it down onto the back of this piece. You want to make sure it's about halfway, so we're right at the 6 inches. So that's a perfect place for it to be. While that washer is laying down, you're going to take a X-Acto knife or a box cutter, and you're just going to place a cut right on each side. So now that you've got those 2 slits, you're going to go and you're going to place the girl side of the clasp right through the 2 slits. When you flip it over, you're going to take the washer, you're going to place it right on top of that, and you're just going to fold those 2 ends over like it's just hugging the washer. Now you're going to take the other inside body piece, you're going to flip it over, you're going to put the interfacing, the other piece of body interfacing on it, and you're going to put the boy side of the magnetic clasp on this. So essentially exactly what we just did, we're just going to repeat on this side. Okay, so now we have our 2 body pieces with our magnetic clasp on them and our interfacing pinned on. Now the thing when you put the second magnetic clasp on, you want to make sure to measure exactly to make sure that both these pieces are in the same position, because you definitely don't want to go to try to close your purse and find your magnets are off, right? Okay, then what we're going to do is we're going to take the pieces for the purse tabs, and you're going to take 1 piece from the outside, 1 piece from the inside. You're going to place them right sides together and then pin them. Then you're going to take them over to the sewing machine and you're going to stitch a 1/2 inch seam allowance on each of the shorter ends here. Okay, once they're all stitched together, go ahead and take your pinking shears and cut the edges that you just stitched to make sure that they won't fray. Now what we're going to do is we're going to flip these right side out, and then you're going to take your interfacing and you're just going to slip that interfacing in between the 2 layers. And you just want to make sure that they're as even as possible. That is it for part 1 of the Star Trek Tote Purse DIY project. Hope you guys are really excited about this. As always, if you want to let me know how excited you are, go ahead and click that like, thumbs up button, letting me know. And as well, in the comment section, let me know what fabric would you choose for a purse like this. And if you're new to a vintage vanity, go ahead and click that subscribe button. It'll let you know when new videos are posted. And if you want to spend a little more time with me tonight, go ahead and check out any of my other videos right there on the screen. And I cannot wait to see you guys again on Tuesday. Have a great day, and I will see you soon. Bye!